Hey everybody, this is Chris. Now this is a medical type video that I'm doing. And because it is a medical video, I wanted to make a disclaimer. One, this is not medical advice. This is only information considering the fact that I'm medically trained. I'm an emergency medical technician. 18 years as an emergency medical technician practicing. And this is not any medical advice. If you need any type of medical advice, you should consult your physician, pharmacist, and so on. This is not to be used as any type of medical advice. Okay, got that out of the way. This video is because I want to advocate that learning CPR is very, very important. I've been an EMT for 18 years. I knew how to do CPR for 18 years. So, why I advocate it? Well, I'll tell you a story. I'm not going to mention any names for privacy reasons. But I had something happen, event, while I was off duty, and happened some time ago. But I was on my way to a store, and there was a car accident. Well, like I always do, I always check and see if everybody's okay, because that's just the type of person I am. And there were so many people standing around. There had to be about 7 or 8 people all standing around this vehicle of this person. Well, as I asked, they said, well, we don't know, but we think this person's unconscious. So I had my wife with me, and I got out of the car, grabbed my medical bag, which I always carry with me in case of incidences like that happening. And I went up to this vehicle, an SUV, and this passenger was not responsive, and didn't have a pulse, radial pulse or carotid pulse. And for those of you who don't know the difference, carotid pulse is right here in your neck, radial pulse is your wrist. So this person had no pulse rate, was not breathing, was completely unconscious, non-responsive, was taken from the vehicle and laid on the ground and reassessed again, no breathing, and I immediately began to do CPR. I dropped what's called an OPA. It's an airway adjunct. It pretty much keeps the tongue from occluding the airway, so air can go back and forth as needed. And using a CPR mask. These are like very, very cheap things you can buy. CPR mask anyone can use. As long as you know how to do CPR, you can use one. The airway adjunct is a little bit different. I'm trained to use that as an EMT. Emergency medical responders can be trained to use those now, I believe. I think it varies by state. But as far as EMTs, we're trained to use those. Well, back to the story. I began CPR compressions on this person, and I was doing CPR probably for about 4.5 minutes, before emergency services arrived, an ambulance. And I did, like I said, CPR for 4.5 to 5 minutes. And once the ambulance got there, they got out their thumper or their Lucas device, which is it's an automated CPR device. It's strapped to the person, and it does compressions for you while you're setting up your supplies, to start IVs and whatnot. And like I said, I can't mention any names or anything like that because of HIPAA and stuff. And I wouldn't mention it unless the said person gave me explicit okay that I could or could not. But I want to advocate because of this, no one of those 8 people that were at this accident scene knew how to do CPR. Not one. I talked to people after the event, after EMS had arrived, had shocked the patient, was able to get a pulse rate back. Thank God. And it surprised me because no one there besides me knew how to do CPR. And I just want to tell people out there, if you don't know how, learn CPR. It's not difficult to learn, and you may save someone's life. You may save one of your kids, family, friends. I mean, it's very important. CPR, early CPR, gives someone a chance that they may not have had otherwise. And this person could have went 4 to 5 minutes without any CPR, no compressions, no rescue breath, nothing. The chances that they would have survived would have been very, 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 very slim, if any at all. And if they had, only God knows what kind of deficits they could have endured. And it's something that I felt on my heart to tell you guys, and how important it is to learn, because if you don't, it could mean the difference between someone living and dying, someone being able to spend time with their family again. And I just want your guys' input on this. I mean, do you think more civilians and more everyday people should learn CPR? Or do you think, it's just something for police and fire departments and emergency services to know? But, I'd like your input. I hope you guys have a blessed night, and I hope you guys will decide to learn this very valuable skill, because it could mean the difference between someone living and someone dying. Thanks. You guys have a blessed night.